something going on with Carl Brazeley and Emmanuel Tolbert. You can't quite see, well, you see just a touch there, a little right arm push by Carl Brazeley, but nothing, I guess, too serious. Rick Johnson's determined that he's going to go deep on any blitzing situation. They've had a couple of halfback blitzes. He's gone deep. That time, Don Moen and Willie Pless were coming again, so he knows he's got one-on-one coverage downfield, and he figures with his receiving core, it's not a bad gamble to go deep.
So averaging over 43 yards a punt, Glenn Harper drops back for his first opportunity tonight. And he puts it high and deep to Kirtland Thomas, who takes it in the end zone and goes down to concede the single point. So the Stampeders increase their lead to 4-0 with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in this opening quarter. That was a 49-yard punt by Harper. And the Argos will take the ball at their 35-yard line.
You know, you heard Conrich Holloway talk in the opening about now he's got a pretty good receiving core in there, and they put a hot package in for the Calgary Stampeders. Well, what that means is each receiver has got quick routes to run when they see a blitz, a halfback blitz or something. So hot means that you better look quick because you're going to get the ball quickly.
Argos begin at their 35. Handoff goes to Craig Ellis, and he's hit back to the line of scrimmage.
Ellis carries.
Many in there, including Harold Hallman, number 99. But neither of these clubs is going to terrify the other with its running attack. They have two of the worst in the league. Calgary is 6th, and Toronto is 8th. Offensive rushing statistically, so...
Well, on the other hand, the Calgary Stampeders have given up the most yards rushing on their defense this year. It's tough to run against these guys, though, even though they're last in the league in that department.
The loss was a yard, so make it 2nd and 11. And Holloway's pass is grabbed by number 84, Gene Beliveau. The interception will give the Stampeders possession at the Toronto 35-yard line. And he just outfought everybody for the football.
Well, let's see who was right in Conrich Holloway's face just as he tried to release the football. He's had good pressure all night so far, but I think it was Vince Goldsmith got the tip up there. Watch the great play that a defensive tackle makes. Eugene Beliveau spent some time with the old Montreal Concords, now with the Stampeders the last couple of years, and what a big play to give Rick Johnson great field position.
Johnson fires. The pass is complete to Alexander. He'll pick up 8 before Carl Brazeley rides him out of bounds. But Alexander really having a good night as Johnson has put the ball right on the money to him on at least 4 occasions.
Well, that's the test of a quarterback, if you can throw the out to the wide side of the field. And he threw a rope out there to Ray Alexander.
Pat, I know you're asking about Calgary determined to go long. It appears that the reason being they think the Argonaut defensive backs are sitting on the curls watching the short patterns. They want to loosen them up a little bit.
Well, they've had good success on those short outs, too, so far this evening. This time the give is inside to Tim Petrus. Petrus, the University of Calgary grad, picks up 5 yards. And that's just to make them stand off a little bit, too, keep them honest. Darrell Goodlow, number 78, was there to bring him down.
Well, Tim Petrus doesn't get a chance to carry the ball too much with Gary Allen in the backfield, but in the 1983 Vanier Cup, he set a record with 267 yards rushing. You and I will never forget that game.
It was a great, great performance, and on that 5-yard carry, he gives Calgary a first down inside the Toronto 25. Johnson going deep, and just beyond the outstretched hands of the intended receiver, number 81, Jamie Harris, with Kerry Parker on the coverage. Harris is a guy who will probably someday end up in Ottawa because he's only 5'9", and it seems that Ottawa loves those 5'9" receivers.
Now, Reggie Butts and Mark Lewis, you're not taking a shot at that.
Not at all. And Mark Bruce, I mean, they're very good receivers, but they're little guys, and this guy would fit right in with them.
Well, so far he's fitting in very well with Calgary Stampeders. Coming into tonight, 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns, not a bad average.
It's amazing. If you look at Tolbert and Alexander, they've accounted for 9 of Calgary's 13 touchdowns. Johnson's pass, that was his first bad pass of the night as he fired it over the head of Alexander with Marcellus Green on the coverage as the first quarter comes to an end. And boy, they ripped that one off in record time as the Calgary Stampeders enjoy a 4-0 advantage over the Toronto Argonauts, and we'll return with the second quarter in a moment. So we begin the second quarter with J.T. Hayes' 30-yard field goal attempt, which is good. And the Calgary Stampeders have jumped out in front 7-0. Interesting to note about J.T. Hayes, had a great career, of course, with the Stampeders. He has never missed a point after. What an accomplishment for this fellow who started his pro career with the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Got off to a rough start in Ottawa, you know, never really panned out. Of course, now he's a very reliable kicker for Calgary. Jerry Organ, he replaced. Jerry came back out of retirement. J.T. Hay went to Calgary.
The Argos find themselves down a converted touchdown. However, it has been 2 field goals by J.T. Hay and a single by Glenn Harper. As you take a look at the dominance of the Stampeders in that first quarter, 134 yards to 10. And the Argonauts are extremely fortunate to only be down by a touchdown.
Well, the offensive line's got to give Conrad Holloway time to throw. They've had a couple of sacks, a couple of tipped balls already.
But Toronto's great success last week against Edmonton was out of the shotgun, so now they're not going to use it. Craig Ellis allows that ball to go out of bounds. Good move on his part. So the Stampeders will be forced to kick off again. But they have been exerting great pressure on Conridge, and you would think that because of the success they had last week that they would just simply stay in the shotgun. I know it limits your running offense. I mean, they don't have any running offense anyway.
No, I agree. I like that shotgun formation. Bob Obelovich yesterday told us that they wanted to put it in earlier in the season, but with so many injuries on the offensive line, new people in each week, and of course Norman Gibbs with not much experience when he was playing quarterback, they just felt like the timing wasn't right. But now that Conridge is back and healthy, get that shotgun going. Boy, the last couple of weeks, he's just been deadly from back there.
Well, Obi is very enthusiastic about this football club. He says it reminds him of his first year here in Toronto in 1982, because he said we have the kind of people we wanted. We had some guys last year that I wasn't nuts about. They're gone. We've got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of young people who want to play football. And as a result, the Argos are 4-2 and off to a better start than a year ago when they were 3-3.
Well, they've got 2 guys in the receiving corps, Darrell Smith and Kirtland Thomas, who really at the beginning of the season did not figure in the plans. They had Kenny Joyner and Steve Cox starting. They both had injuries. Now these 2 fellas are in there, and they can't get them out. They're playing really well.
Ellis from his 25-yard line. Good return once again by Craig Ellis to midfield. And it was Bernie Morrison who tripped him up. But Don Moen, who was trying to make the block on Morrison, probably had as much to do with it after a 29-yard return by Craig Ellis.
Well, here you get a good look at the wedge. You got Don Moen and Warren Hudson, a few guys leading the way. Craig Ellis just stays right on their behinds until it's time to make a break and put great field position almost out to midfield. But Bernie Morrison made a heck of a play to make that tackle.
First down, Argos.
There's a group that's been together for a pretty long time, that entire secondary, the Calgary Stampeders. Greg Peterson in his second year, but the other 4 guys at least 3 and 4 years experience.
Well, the Argos again start in good field position at their own 54. The pass is just beyond the outstretched hands of Darrell Smith, number 74. Anthony Woodson, the linebacker, is defending on him.
They were working on this yesterday in practice, where they put Chris Woods, Paul Pearson, and Darrell Smith all to one side of the field, and that time tried to isolate Smith over the middle. But they've got some variations off that triple formation, and it's pretty good stuff. They can open up a guy maybe deep downfield with it.
Smith had an outstanding game against Edmonton. He only caught 2 passes, but both of them went for touchdowns. It's second down, Toronto, 10 yards to go from their 54-yard line. Holloway's pass is incomplete. Again, thanks to some good tackling by Anthony Woodson, who stripped the ball of Darrell Smith, who was trying to make a good catch.
Well, you know, Pat, I think the Argonaut offense is pretty confused right now. Arthur Seltzer, who's their offensive coordinator, is up in the press box now. He's calling all the plays. You had 2nd and 10. You anticipate a real blitzing team to be coming after you in 2nd and 10. That time they dropped everybody off, played zone defense, and I think they had the wrong play called. You know, you can't run man-to-man pass patterns against the zone defense.
Jamie Harris, 81, and Gary Allen, 23, are back to receive this punt from Hank Olisic. It bounces to Jamie Harris, and Harris fights his way out to the 20, And that's where the Stampeders are going to begin. They have been very impressive so far this evening. They lead the Toronto Argonauts 7-0, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Stampeders. Rashovich made the tackle.
GMC pickups pull their weight every working day. Depend on it. Only GMC trucks are action ready. The lowest price full-size V8 pickup in Canada.
Now GM offers you 9.9% financing on GMC full-size pickups.
The world is divided in half. Some can go to the net, some can't. There are good backhands and bad ones. And most important to Bic, some guys have normal skin while others have more sensitive skin. So Bic made the new Bic Orange. It shaves sensitive skin gently and closely. So remember, for normal skin like mine, the original Bic White Shaver. And for sensitive skin, the new Bic Orange. Oh, by the way, some people love John McEnroe, and some people,
We've had a steady drizzle here in C&E Stadium for about the last 12-15 minutes, so this surface will get a little bit slick, especially for the defensive backs. The linebackers for Calgary are having lots of fun today. Eric Emery told me the Argonauts have not done anything they did not expect, although they did anticipate the Argos might run a little more than they have so far.
Did Bill Stevenson used to use an umbrella?
Dan standing in the rain. Don't you be unkind. First down, Stampeders from the 20. This is Allen. Well, he has no place to go that time. He got to the 22-yard line, no further. Brad Foytik, number 64, and David Marshall, 73. Foytik is the nose tackle, and David Marshall is the middle linebacker. He was there to make the stop. Spotter Alex Ponton points out that it's going to be a long night for Carl Braisley because he really is playing man-on-man with Emmanuel Tolbert. Wherever Tolbert goes on the field, that's where Braisley goes. So we're talking about a lot of running for Carl Braisley because Tolbert has been flip-flopping all night. The pass for Alexander is good. Boy, he's a good-looking receiver. Finds the open areas, and he's got a quarterback that can put it right on the money. Alexander makes the catch. Marcellus Green makes the stop.
First down for the Stampeders.
Alexander lets the ball go even before Alexander.
On the Argo 37.
He pushes Marcellus Green down. He thinks he's running a big pattern. Then he gets the catch.
17 yards, the pickup, 5 catches for Alexander. First down, Calgary, and the give is to Tim Petrus. Petrus gets to the 40-yard line. He'll have a pickup of about 3 yards. Rodney Harding, number 77,
Harding made the tackle.
the defensive end from Oklahoma State University, who has played very well for the Argos all season long, was there to make the tackle. So let's credit Petrus with a 4-yard pickup. Make it second down, 6 yards to go. Johnson steps up, fires again to Alexander. This is really just pitch and catch, and Alexander fights his way to midfield. Kerry Parker and Carl Braisley were both there. But, I mean, this is really some performance by Rick Johnson, and this is the kind of game we expected from him. The youngster from Southern Illinois University played briefly in the USFL, came up to Canada last season and was not impressive. But watch how he delivers this ball to Ray Alexander.
Pretty good looking pattern. Alexander just to the inside, kind of floating out there. Tolbert cleared deep for him, but guy makes some good catches.
Johnson has Tolbert in behind the secondary, and Tolbert is all the way down to the 12-yard line. Cliff Hewitt and Carl Braisley were the defenders. It was obviously Braisley he got in behind, and Emmanuel Tolbert, the former Toronto Argonaut, picks up 44 yards.
Well, Pat, you suggested that Carl Braisley was going to have his hands full covering Tolbert all over the field, and I think he just looks a little tired on this play. Tolbert's run so many deep patterns that he just got in behind, and Rick Johnson really feathered that pass in nicely.
It's funny, we have not had the opportunity of seeing Rick Johnson on national TV all that often this year, but every game I've seen him, he's been outstanding, and he's certainly doing that again tonight. First down, Calgary from the Toronto 13. Gary Allen. Allen actually ends up giving up the football, but they will rule that he was down at about the line of scrimmage. Brad Foytik, number 64, was there to bring him down. And we were speaking of Rick Johnson. He's been good on 13 of 19 passes tonight for 185 yards. He has the Stampeders in front 7-0 and threatening to add to that lead right now.
Oh, well, Rick Johnson, he can get the job done. They lost last week to BC, as you all know, but 22 of 39 in that game for 374 yards, so he's just been amazing.
Well, he's the brightest quarterback prospect since Matt Dunnigan, no question about that. Touchdown, Emmanuel Tolbert in behind Carl Braisley. And in fairness to Carl Braisley, the guy has played his career at the corner. Because of the injury, they had to move him inside, put Kerry Parker on the corner, and there's no question that Rick Johnson has been noticing the flaws, and he's had a field day.
It gets pretty tough when you follow a guy all over the field and you're constantly playing man-to-man coverage. You know, your alignments change every time you go to cover a guy. It's easy for the receiver. He can just make those moves going downfield, and Tolbert's had a pretty good couple of moves on this drive.
Bet you JT makes it.
What was your first clue?
It's a 14-0 ball game for the Stampeders. Let's watch that touchdown pass from quarterback Rick Johnson to Emmanuel Tolbert.
Oh, once again, he just feathers it up over the top. Tolbert sees it all the way. Braisley's back turn. Easy touchdown.
It's 14-0 for the Stampeders. We'll be back with their kickoff in just a moment.
You know, the best things in life really are free. Stars in the sky.
Crickets chirping.
My telescope.
Coming August 11th, Club Z, where the best things in life are free.
Introducing the all-new front-drive Chevy Nova.
Stampeders lead, and Argos really have their work cut out for them because the Stampeders have the second-best defensive record points against in the CFL. The kickoff comes to Craig Ellis at his 25. And this time he's contained inside the 35 at about the 34-yard line. Down very quickly once again was Mel Jenkins, number 28. Anthony Woodson, 96, was there as well. Well, 90 yards in 7 plays. The fact is that Calgary has not had great field position, but they've been able to move the football virtually every time they've got their hands on it.
Yeah, that opening drive was really pretty. They only got a field goal from J.T. Have this time. They had another great drive and Tolbert's touchdown.
Holloway's pass is caught by Paul Pearson. He has the first down out to the Toronto 51-yard line. Boy, if it makes sense to have the most injury-prone quarterback rolling out against a team that will, I mean, just what they want to do is kill you. And we've got Conridge Holloway rolling out, taking hits. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, he takes a pretty good hit here from number 35, or actually number 96, Anthony Woodson, just as he releases that football, but Paul Pearson makes a nice fingertip catch.
It's first down from their own 51-yard line for the Argos. This is Craig Ellis. And Ellis just couldn't get around the corner. He got to midfield for a pickup of 4 yards. Greg Peterson, number 24, was there to bring him down.
Pat, to get back to Paul Pearson for just a moment, he was telling us before the Argonaut offense went on the field that they have not yet lost confidence. He says the reason they haven't scored is not because Calgary's defense is playing so well. He says their offense is playing very poorly.
Well, it's got to be one or the other, I would suspect, Dan, wouldn't you? It's second down. They credit him actually with a 6-yard gain, so make it 2nd and 4. Holloway fires the screen to Warren Hudson, and Hudson fights his way to the Calgary 45-yard line, and he will have a first down. Warren Hudson and Bob Bronk are fighting it out for that fullback spot, and the reason that Hudson has been getting away, they like his pass receiving ability better.
And what a great call on 2nd and long. Everybody was coming on the blitz. They just let them come right through, flip it off to Hudson, and that's a big first down. Toronto's really trying to get something established here. They trail 14-0. They'd like to put a good drive together.
Calgary 45. Holloway looks, there is nobody open. He takes it himself. And he slides down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. courage is a word that has to be associated with Conrad Holloway.
Yeah, I told him the other day, we were talking on the phone, I said, when you roll out of the pocket and start running, I said, you look like Walter Brennan from the old Real McCoy show. And here, watch Walter Brennan run. There he's hopping along and then takes a good dive before the tackle by Greg Peterson comes.
On the Calgary 32.
He'll do anything to win, and he's trying to get this Toronto offense fired up. They're in the hole, 14 points with 6:50 left to play in this first half. Argos have a first down at the Calgary 33. Holloway looks, fires to Pearson. Pearson makes the catch. And let's see, they'll give him about the 24-yard line, which would leave him a yard and a half short. Larry Hogue, number 14, and Bernie Morrison, 72, combine on the tackle. He really drilled that one in there.
Yeah, really does. He's not taking quite as deep a drop as he has in the past few games. Wants to get rid of the ball a little quicker this week, and Paul Pearson just hooks up about 8 yards and makes a nice catch in front of Larry Hogue.
That's an interesting point that you raised, because Bob Obilovich was saying yesterday one of the reasons they like the shotgun formation is that it puts Holloway back where he should be. He has a tendency not to drop back deep enough, and because he is short, he sometimes has the ball deflected. The give is to Craig Ellis. Boy, was he drilled.
Boy, number 84, Eugene Beliveau, met him at the line of scrimmage and really delivered a solid hit. I don't think they got the first down.
Belivau's had a big night. He already has an interception, and he has a quarterback sack, and now he delivers the big hit on Craig Ellis as he was looking for a first down. And you're right, Leaf, they are short, and they're short by plenty. Well, the better part of a yard.
Well, Obi trails by 14 points. He's got his team in good scoring position. Why not take a shot? Third down.
It's less than a yard. I mean, you've got to take your shot down by 2 touchdowns. Well, it's close again, but I suspect he made it.
Boy, last time Craig Ellis, as he went in the line, saw everybody flying over the top at him. That time he put his head down, tried to sneak underneath everybody.
It is the first down for the Argonauts. 5.5 minutes left to play in a half that has gone very quickly.
Ball is on the Calgary 22.
Boy, just got underneath number 96, Anthony Woodson, and we've mentioned his name a number of times in this half. Should have had an interception early. Tipped one that Craig Ellis made a great catch on.
Ball is at the Stampeder 23-yard line. First down, Toronto. And Holloway goes to the end zone for Pearson, and it's knocked away by number 14, Larry Hogue. There is a penalty marker down in the end zone.
Well, number 14, sorry, Pat, Larry Hogue had great position that time on Paul Pearson. He's been around for 4 years, lots of experience. Only a little guy, but really quick back there in the secondary.
I think he's been called for pass interference.
That's probably why he had such good coverage.
The flag was thrown while the ball was in the air, so he may have put the clutch on him as Pearson was trying to go by him.
Defensive forward pass interference, Calgary, numbers 96. First down.
And Anthony Woodson, 96, is called for pass interference.
Well, Pearson had a great shot to make this catch, but at the last second, Larry Hogue's hand came out and knocked it away.
The ball's at the 13-yard line. First down, Toronto. So obviously the interference was not on Pearson, it was on somebody else. This time Pearson makes the catch at the 5-yard line, and he is wrapped up in a hurry too. Number 35, Eric Emery, was one of those there to make the stop, and Mel Jenkins, 28, was the other.
You know, that's really, it's only going to go for about 7 yards, but that really is a great catch that Paul Pearson made, because he had to go high in the air. He knew he had Eric Emery and Bernie Morrison coming at it from either side. You've got to catch the ball so quickly, tuck it away before you take the hit.
Well, Paul ranks 3rd in all-time Toronto pass receiving behind Terry Greer and Dick Shadow. This is Craig Ellis looking for the end zone, does not get there. Bernie Morrison really was over there quickly, and he contained Ellis to a gain of about a yard.
Well, you know, Bernie's got the experience. He's been around for 9 years in the league from Manitoba. Originally an outside linebacker, moved into the middle now, and he's really got the quickness to get to the outside, as you saw him bring down Craig Ellis.
Going to spot the ball just inside the 4.
Watch Bernie Morrison at the left of your screen, number 72. He's sliding out, fight off a block, slide out, wrap him up high, and boy, that's a great tackle.
And again, it's a gambling situation for Toronto. It's third down, about a yard to go.
Well, both teams tonight have been very successful on their third down gambles.
This is about a half a yard to go for the first down. The give is to Ellis. Touchdown, Argonauts. His third touchdown of 1986 for Craig Ellis, who just refused to give up and fought his way into that Calgary end zone to put the Argos back in the football game.
Pretty nice job of blocking along that left side. Calvin Princeton and Dan Ferroni. A lead block by Warren Hudson, number 37. He just drilled Anthony Woodson. What a great block that was. Ellis, with some determination, gets into the end zone. Argos' first major of the night.
There has not been a point after missed in 1986 by any CFL team, and it has not happened here this evening.
You keep trying to jinx somebody saying that all the time.
No, I'm trying to make people aware of it, because to me it's an unusual statistic and one that you certainly never see in the NFL.
That's the block right at the bottom. 37, Warren Hudson. He crunches Anthony Woodson.
So it's now a 14-7 ball game. Stampeders out in front. We'll be back with the Toronto kickoff in a moment. 75 yards in 10 plays, culminating in Craig Ellis's third running touchdown of the season, his fifth of 1986, as Hank Olisic prepares to kick it away to the Calgary Stampeders, who have given up a touchdown but still lead it 14-7. Ronnie Hopkins, number 15, and Jamie Harris, 81, are ready for Hank Olisic.